Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. It's early Saturday morning. It's about 7:30 a.m. Yes, I'm up fully dressed. It's gonna rain today, so I wanted to try to get outside before it does that. It's gonna rain a lot this weekend. I think this entire weekend is supposed to rain, which is fine. I have no problem with that. We need the rain, and it's kind of calming actually. So today, I know you guys already saw the title. We're going to be talking about anxiety and how to cope with it. And I'm going to be transparent with you guys today because it is something that I'm currently dealing with. And some of you that are members of my exclusive membership, you know, my royalty fans or my fan crew, you guys already know what's been going on in my life, what has happened. I had something to happen to me in August, the early part of August. And I've been trying to function and go about my life as if it didn't happen, and trying to, thinking I was going to work through it, like it would just go away, because you know, people who generally are strong-minded, who can handle a lot of stress and a lot of working under pressure, we generally, I guess, feel like we can handle things all the time, but this is proven to be more than I can just handle myself. And I'm kind of tired of pretending, in a sense, that I'm not suffering right now, that I'm not going through something. And you know, I guess what more than anything that bothers me is when the people in my life that are closest to me, that I have shared it with, really don't get it, and they act as if life is normal, as usual, and everybody's still reaching out and needing things from me, and not checking in on me and saying, hey girl, you good? Is there anything you need? You know, I'm here for you if you really need to talk. It's almost like, got this almost zoomed in too far. It's almost like it didn't even happen in their eyes, you know, and that's kind of annoying. So the last couple of days, the anxiety has been really messing with me. It's been bothering me, and I'm not sleeping, haven't been sleeping really good for a while now, and I feel overwhelmed. I feel exhausted. My body has been aching. I actually had an episode of fibromyalgia flare up. I hadn't had one of those in some time, but it triggered that. So I've been really trying to deal with what I'm going through, and I think it kind of bothers me that the support group that I feel I need from the people I love isn't there. So you know, I just been pulling back from a lot of things. Yesterday when I got home from work, I totally decided that I didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't want to answer no phone calls. I didn't want to do nothing, guys. I didn't want to do I just wanted to just sit, and I kind of listened to music. Brian Culbertson, which is one of my all-time favorite jazz artists, did a slow jam concert on YouTube and Facebook last night, so I kind of watched that. All of these bumps in this road, because they done tore up this street, guys, and it's just making my camera just bounce all over the place. But anyway, I'm on my way to Starbucks. I'm gonna get me some coffee, and then I'm gonna go come back and kind of talk to you about something. All right, guys, I am back. I'm actually at the park now. I'm at Overton Park, just sitting in front of this open field and just kind of gonna sit here and talk with you guys. I got my coffee. I actually went ahead and got me some breakfast. This is called the Impossible breakfast sandwich. It's a plant-based sandwich with egg and cheese. Because you know, guys, I'm trying to still eat healthy, so I'm not doing, you know, sausage and bacon and stuff like that. But I decided that because I haven't been eating breakfast because of my intermittent fasting, but I think I'm going to start eating breakfast on Saturdays. That Saturday morning be the day that I do actually eat breakfast. So I'm going to try to do that this morning. Spray my hands here, even though I have been trying to stay sanitized, still trying to stay healthy. All right, but anyway, maybe I should eat first. I want to talk a little bit about anxiety and coping with it and being transparent, because I'm dealing with it and I'm human just like everybody else. And so, you know, I'm not without struggles or having a hard time. And, you know, although I think some things that go on in your life, you know, it should, you know, be personal. But I think if it's a way for the things that I'm experiencing to help somebody else who may be dealing with that, maybe not something as horrific as what happened to me, because stress can actually, and anxiety can come on from many things. It could just be the pressure of your work, your family, you know, your health could be a challenge. Stress and worry, financial, you know, all of that could cause anxiety for you. Just a lot of things in life can cause anxiety for you. And so being able to deal with it and still function, because we still have to work and all of these, everybody's not privy to be able to sit back and just deal with everything. And so I'm back in counseling. But for those of you that don't know, I was in a robbery at my workplace. I was robbed at gunpoint. And so when I went through it, I think, I'm not going to go through the story. You have to join my membership if you want to hear the whole story, but I'm not going to tell the details of it. And then actually I may end up having to go to court, so I don't really want to talk about it a lot. But initially when it happened, I think I was in this, I felt like I detached from myself. It was like, okay, to keep this from actually sending me over the top, I had to, in some way, have an out-of-body experience to act like it wasn't me but somebody else that I was watching, if that makes sense to you guys. You know, the mind is very powerful and it functions in many ways. And for me, I've always, whenever there has been anything horrific that has happened to me, I have been able to somehow separate myself from the reality of it. I don't know. Anybody's an empath, they understand what I'm saying. Because you have to be able to keep going. So that's basically what I did. But even doing the little bit of counseling that I received, they told me that I needed to be in counseling and therapy so that I can deal with it, because when it actually settles in on me, that I was going to have a tough time. So I'm here. But guys, I'm going to eat my breakfast real quick and then I'll get back with you, because I don't want to be eating and chewing and all of that while I'm talking to you guys. So give me a moment. All right, guys, I'm back. I just felt like that was going to be a little awkward trying to chew and talk to you guys. So I decided to go ahead on and eat up my food before bringing this video. It's so overcast right now. It's about 8:30. And yeah, I'm sitting out here. I'm so amazed at all the children that are out here this early in the morning. Parents are getting their kids up and getting them out here to enjoy a little bit of this outside air and nature. Is a good thing. You know, children generally, I know my children, they love to sleep late, so it was a time sometimes getting them out of bed on a weekend But anyway, to jump into the video, yeah, we're going to talk about anxiety a little bit and what I've learned about anxiety and this therapy counseling that I'm doing. And I'm going to keep doing it. I only went a few days and then I stopped. And, you know, I thought I was good. But the mind is very powerful. And it'll let you know when it needs healing and when it needs some extra help, you know, that you're not giving it. And one of the things I learned in the class is about anxiety, and it's the body's way of it's a natural response to stress. Anxiety is that is how your body copes with it. You know, it'll let you know. And so when you start feeling all of these anxious, unrestful, you know, breathing off, eating habits off, sleeping habits off, this feeling of you gotta, like, things are happening around you and you don't have enough time. It gives you all types of uncomfortable feelings that really is very hard to explain. I'm sure everybody in some form or fashion probably have dealt with anxiety at some point, but I don't know how severe it has been. But during this time, you know, I have just felt overwhelmed by others who haven't been as sensitive to me, and I think that's what caused me to realize that, okay, Lydia, you need to deal with this anxiety, because I guess what I was expecting to receive from other people is not what I received. So like, somebody's calling me right now. It's 8:30 in the morning. That's only about it, somebody that wants something. But yeah, anyway, let me get to what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to talk about ways to cope with it, things that I've learned, and ways that, you know, we can cope with it, you know, how to recognize it, and yeah, and you know, however you can apply this to where you are in your life, hopefully it'll be helpful to you. One of the things is what I did last night. You got to take some time out for yourself. You got to detach from things, people, whatever the situation is, because you have to be able to focus on yourself. You know, at this particular point, it's time to prioritize your health, your mental, emotional health. You know, we're always, especially as women with families, with children, with spouses, even caregivers, if we're taking care of our parents or whatever, we often always put ourselves on the back burner. We always, you know, say, well, we'll get to us later. You know, we'll take care of us later, rather than focusing on making sure we're good, because we're not able to do any of those things if we're not good. And that's one of the things that being alone, since my nest has been empty, has taught me, is that I have to prioritize myself and know when I have given so much that I don't have anything else to give, or when it's time for me to give some of that, what I'm giving to other people, to me. That's more important. So some of the things you can do is detach and do some of those things that put you in that mental space of serenity and peace and calmness, whatever it may be. You know, everybody has different needs. Everybody has different things that they do that gives them that. And for me, you know, listening to music that calms me, that, you know, so that I can have time to just sit back and reflect, or to quieten my mind. You know, it helps me quieten my mind from all of the thoughts that I've been having about things I'm dealing with. So I have to take that time. A massage is really good, because if you get you a deep tissue massage, is one of the best ways to relieve stress and anxiety, because your muscles are tight. Because I'm in need of one. I'm so tight up in here, guys. You know, just go somewhere if you can afford it, or if you got a significant other that can give it to you, a friend or whoever, you know, let them, you know, give you a nice massage. Get you some nice massage oil. One of my best friends sent me some massage oil, and I'm actually using that one after I take a shower. It's very nice, and It has jojoba oil in it, lavender, what else is in it? Coconut oil. Has a bunch of relaxing oils that, help you to relax. So, it's something that I needed to do for me. Another thing you can do is try to stay away from whatever the problem is. In my situation, I am away from it, but it's one of those that mentally keep taking me back to it. But if it's something that's in your immediate life, try to stay away from that problem, or even if it's like through a person or situation, maybe at work. Try to separate yourself from that situation and that person or thing, whatever it is that may be causing you anxiety, because that's a constant reminder. It constantly puts you back in that headspace of what you were going through. So if you can, stay away from it. Another thing is we don't focus a lot on what we eat. As I've gotten older, I have really began to understand what it means to eat properly and have a well-balanced meal. Making sure that I'm eating things that it's going to give me nourishment, things that's not going to aggravate maybe illnesses or things that we have, because sometimes things that you eat can cause you to be awake at night. Like some people can't, I'm one, can't eat spicy things late at night because it causes me to have like acid reflux, which I ain't done in a long time, so it's not an issue that I deal with. But I realized when some years back, I used to love to eat buffalo hot wings, and I would be up at night because that constant burping. I know that's TMI, but yeah. So, making sure that the foods you eat are well balanced, so it won't be things that aggravate maybe little problems that you have within your body, and just giving you nourishment so that your body can produce the nutrients and give it and send it to the areas of your body that you need it to send to. So that's definitely something that you can focus on. If you're not, making sure you're drinking a lot of water. Water really helps you. One of the things I learned is that water, making sure if you're intaking the right and proper amount of water, it can relieve chronic pain like arthritis, muscle tension, because when your body is dehydrated, your body will reflect that. Your body will tell you in different ways. Everything, before you break down, your body gives you signals to let you know when you're neglecting it. And that is one of the things I didn't realize. And sometimes that when I have had headaches and things, it was my body telling me that I needed to drink more water. So pay attention to your body and the things, the signals that it sends out, and act accordingly and give it what it needs. So nourishment definitely is one that we should really, really focus on. Nourishment and making sure you're intaking the proper fluids is so important, guys. So important to help you deal with and battle anxiety and stress. Limiting alcohol intake. Now, I'm not a big drinker. I do drink wine, and I would say in a month's time, on average, I may have a glass of wine, maybe, I'd say out the whole month, maybe 5 times a month. So I don't consider that to be a lot. But if you are a person who drinks every day or every week, make sure you're limiting the amount of your alcohol if you're going through a battle of anxiety, because alcohol will affect you in ways that will heighten the anxiety or stress level. So that is definitely something you need to pay attention to, and that's something that I learned in my counseling that I need, if I was doing, it's something that I needed to work on. Yeah, alcohol actually is a trigger. It can actually trigger panic attacks. So you never know what things and the foods and the drinks that we take, the effects it can have. So my thing is, one of the things I started doing was actually researching the effects of this, the effects of that. So that's something that you can actually do if you're unsure of something that you're drinking or eating, and find out, the effects that it can have on your body outside of what you think it's supposed to provide for you. Getting enough sleep. Now, I have this one associate that constantly tells me, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep. Now, I am an active person, and so I have things that I like to do. So I can't spend my days in bed. But it is important that if you can, you know, whatever that time of night that you shut your body down, that you do that. I've actually been making it a point that after about 9 o'clock, I'm not taking any more phone calls unless it's important. You know, my children know to dial me 911, so that lets me know that they need to reach me. But anybody that's just calling me just to chat, you know, it can wait till the next day. I've made it a point of that's my quiet time, even though I'm not asleep at that time, but it is a time that I start to wind down. And, you know, I'm doing those pamper things. You know, if I'm not, you know, either pampering my body in some way, I'm pampering my mind by either reading, or I'm listening to some great music that's going to relax me, calm me, whatever that is for you, because I know everybody have different things that they need that will help them. So whatever it may be for you, it may not be music or any of that. You know, even for me, I like having a nice glass of tea, hot tea at night, mint tea, peppermint tea, lavender tea. That was something new I tried. Green tea, and especially my ginger lemon tea is really, really good. And yeah, it's very relaxing. It gets my mind prepared for, okay, it's time to shut down, it's time to rest, and then I can go to sleep perhaps and get me a nice rest. So make sure you do that. Exercising is important if you're stressing, and if you're not a person, because, you know, I have to be honest with myself, a lot of people over 50 don't have a rigorous exercise routine. So I would say to people who don't, because it's hard to just jump into it and just all of a sudden you jump into this big exercise workout. But if you could just, like I'm doing, you go to the park and just walk around the park, you know, a few times, getting some fresh air and vitamin D. One of the things that doctors have stated is that most people, the majority of people, are vitamin D deficient because we don't get enough. So that's why I actually take a supplement, because even as much as I spend time outside, I still feel that I don't get enough vitamin D. So I do have a supplement that I take in addition to what maybe my foods are giving me and what I get outside, to ensure that I'm actually getting enough of that, because that's one thing that I know that we're deficient of, and that can actually cause anxiety and stress on you if your body is lacking the nutrients and vitamins that it's supposed to have. So make sure that you're doing that. And one thing, you know, that the meditation is teaching me, and it's about breathing, inhaling and exhaling, you know, taking the time to go outside and to breathe, you know, to inhale, exhale, do it several times. You know, they always say 10 times, and just doing it slowly and making sure that you do that. Doing so, and this is something that I actually practiced even when I was doing the counseling, they had me do that, because when you do that, it takes your heart rate down. And that's able to get your body to a state of calmness, a state of rest. So making sure that you're doing that, and it's very helpful. One of the things that I guess that was hard for me was accepting that it happened, you know, accepting that, you know, I was a victim to such, you know, and coming to terms with that, and that it was something that was out of my control, and being okay with that, you know, because oftentimes we want to feel that we can control everything, and because that was something that I couldn't control, it's like I feel that I've lost control of certain things in my life. It's just like when you're raped, if a woman is raped, or say you was your house was broken into, or your car, you know, you feel violated, you feel like it was something that was totally out of your control, so you battle with that. What could I have done different to prevent it? You know, could I have changed something? Sometimes things are just actually not in your control, and it wasn't for you to be able to control, and be thankful that you survived it. So, you know, learning to accept that I did survive, and that it was not something that I could control, because a person who has my type of personality is always feeling that they need to be able to control situations and things that happen, or what could I have done differently that, you know, I could have, you know, been able to control this situation better. And finally is to make sure that you talk to somebody about it. You know, because I'm in the position of training to be a life coach, I'm always talking to other people, always rendering advice or inspiration to others, not realizing that I am one of people and that I also need it, and that I need to be willing to sit down and be vulnerable and to talk to somebody myself. So in doing that, I decided to go back to counseling, because I only did it for a period of time, which I think was probably about a week. Yeah, maybe a little bit over a week, not really long, which she was telling me that was nearly not enough time to really to make peace with what I'm having and being able to cope with it on a day-to-day basis. So I did that. So I'm back in counseling, therapy, whatever you want to call it, you know. And guys, there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of times I think people feel like if you go to counseling, we got this stigma that, you know, we're sick, we're crazy. And especially in the African American community, because we wasn't raised on going to counseling and therapy, and it's perfectly okay. It's perfectly okay to allow yourself to sit down with a professional outside of your prayer and everything that you're doing, you know, because I pray, you know, I've taken it to Almighty God. But with that being said, God wants you to do those things that, you know, people were trained to do, who are professionals, who know what they're doing to help you to deal with that. You know, a lot of times I think people, especially in the faith-based, spiritually Christian society, feels like that's all you got to do is just pray, just pray, just pray, just pray, just pray, just pray. Just pray, just pray, just pray. And then that's supposed to eliminate and alleviate everything you're dealing with, when God has given all of these people these beautiful blessings of, you know, knowledge and wisdom, you know, and everybody has something that they're able to do. And if a person was taught or trained to be a professional in this field, then why not benefit from it? Why not benefit from the knowledge that somebody is given? Because we all have a purpose, we all have a talent, and God has given us all that. So in saying that, then a benefit from the talent of someone who can help you balance your life and get yourself back on track. So that's where I'm at, guys. You know, I just wanted you all to know. I did tell my exclusive members about it. They actually got the whole story of detail of what happened. So guys, I'm going to end this story time. My camera overheated. Y'all know what I'm dealing with right now with this camera. But I'm going to end this story time, and I hope that this information that I've rendered to you guys today was helpful, and it will help you in whatever your current situations may be. If you're dealing with anxiety and stress, and if it's like a serious form of anxiety and stress, don't be afraid to take time and disconnect from the people in your life. You know, those that love you will definitely not abandon you. They will be there for you, and actually they will reach out to you and see if there's anything that they can do to help you. So I've done that, and you know, and I don't feel that I have to explain to anybody why I felt like I needed to disconnect. I just needed to actually accept what is going on in my life and where I'm at. And guys, I'm fine. I want you all to know that, and I know it'll be a few of you that y'all like family to me. All of y'all are like family to me, but I have those sisters who truly reach out to me and be like, girl, you good? How are you? I'm thinking of you. I love you, and I love you too. And I appreciate you guys so much. And I'm gonna be okay, but I'm gonna do what I need to do, and not, you know, always try to be that for everybody, but allow myself, you know, time so that I can heal and allow people to be there for me as well. So I'm going to end this this story time with just a view of the park, let y'all guys see where I'm at. So thank you for tuning in today. And if you have any comments, or if anybody has gone through significant stress in their life, or anxiety, y'all drop it below, you know, if you want to share or help somebody else with your thoughts and comments, or what you did or what you're currently doing to battle it or deal with it. You know, feel free to drop it below. Inspiration that will help other people. The whole main point of all of this is to encourage people and let people know we're human and that we battle things every day in life. And so if it's somebody out there that you can help, yeah, let's do that. So I'm gonna close with just a view of this park. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Remember, always peace and love, kisses and hugs, and I'll see you guys in the next video.